Welcome to another Double Value Commentary. I'm Bill Truax with the only internet commentary guaranteed to be worth at least twice as much as you paid for it. This Double Value Commentary is sponsored by Krasnikov Democracy Support Partners, LLC. Is your democracy on the verge of getting out of control? Are your voters starting to believe that their voices really matter? Headquartered in Moscow, with tentacles in nearly every major city in the world, Krasnikov Democracy Support Partners, LLC, has almost 30 years' experience in shaping and reshaping elections in favor of an unnamed oligarchy headed by a former spy. No election is too small for Krasnikov, from high school student councils to the highest offices in the largest countries, and every election, primary, and caucus in between. Krasnikov has an election ceiling program to fit your budget. Call before your party's convention for an offer you can't refuse. Krasnikov Democracy Support Partners, LLC. Because sometimes democracy needs a little push, niet? I thought about foregoing the sponsor spot in this video, but I figure everyone needs a bit of humor right now, even a very little bit. Today it's my turn to talk about the coronavirus, COVID-19. I don't want to add fuel to the fire and maybe continue the run on toilet paper. But neither do I want to downplay the severity of the situation, especially the toilet paper situation. There seems to be a lot of finger pointing at government officials, and no one seems to be happy. Either they've gone too far or they haven't gone far enough. But really, this whole issue is a major juggling act. Officials don't want to downplay the potential severity. On the other hand, they don't want to fuel any more panic and overreaction than we've already seen. It may be like being a theater manager in the midst of a production with a full house. You find a small electrical fire in a broom closet that's far removed from the auditorium. What do? The choices seem to be make a bigger deal of the fire than it actually is and risk panic, the accompanying chaos and invariable injuries, deaths, and lawsuits that will probably follow. Or try to deal with the fire without bothering the audience and risk it becoming an inferno and a major disaster. Threading that needle is extremely difficult, just like this situation. And frankly, in the information age, it's probably impossible to do perfectly, and maybe even impossible to do very well. Picking a course of action and sticking with it when you've got literally hundreds of thousands or even millions of wannabe advisors telling you what you should do right now is not for the faint-hearted. So I'll forego making anything that might sound like a medical comment or recommendation. I have no competence in that area, and there are plenty of experts, real and imagined, that you can choose to listen to right now. Interestingly, my wife and I are in a mandatory isolation protocol at the moment because we traveled outside the area. We went to Mississippi. We have no reason to believe that we are in contact with anyone who might be carrying the virus, but we've been told to stay put for a while in our house. So that's what we're doing. Today is our first full day in isolation. Restriction of movement, as it's being referred to here. We spent the morning watching church services that were live streamed or recorded. That was actually nice and added a bit of normalcy to our otherwise odd day where we really aren't supposed to go outside. We even sang the hymns along with the congregations. So tomorrow I'll have my first work day at home. At the moment, the plan is for us to go in and have our vital signs taken on Tuesday. If they're normal and they find no reason in our travels to keep us in isolation, we'll go back to normal life, as normal as it is nowadays. So I'll post another video tomorrow on day 2. It probably won't be any more exciting than this one, but it'll be worth at least twice as much as you paid for it. Talk to you then.